Good morning and welcome to Peace Out, where we are all figuring out all these little pieces about how to peace out day after day, right? And isn't it funny that no matter how well it seems like it's going, there's always something to come to try to disrupt that peace? Or maybe that's just me. Maybe I ain't got nothing like that in your life. I don't know, right? But it just seems like things come every day. Now, those things are going to come every day. It's just puts it back on us to just to be resolved and say, I'm going to trust God. I'm going to trust his peace that he has given me, right? And so maybe we should look at those challenges more as opportunities, because our challenges are what make us stronger. Those challenges, our challenges each day, our struggles each day, our tribulations, fill in the blank with whatever you relate to, right? Don't those just make us go back to God, drive us back to him? They should, right? And so maybe we should be more grateful. That's an attitude adjustment, right? For those challenges, because they cause us to seek him more. They cause us to pray more. They cause us to look into this word more and try to find some answers that really work, right? Some answers that are applicable and practical, that we can apply to our lives, right? So those challenges are good. And here's the thing, and here's what I titled today's thing. You see, we have a new covenant with God. I was reading in Hebrews today. I'm almost done with Hebrews. I'll finish it probably in the morning unless I can't wait and I finish it today. That happens sometimes. And we have a new covenant. Our covenant isn't written on uh, tablets. Our covenant's not even written on paper, although it sort of is, but the new covenant is actually written on our hearts. Right? God said, I will write my new covenant. He says in Hebrews 10, I will put my law in their hearts, and in their minds I will write them. So he's given us this new covenant, right? But here's the thing is, oh, we've got it written on our heart. He did the hard part. For us, the hardest part is coming back over and over and over and over, however many times a day we have to do that, and reminding ourselves that we still have that covenant. We still have his covenant of peace. He is still the God of hope. He is still the God of salvation. He is still our refuge, a very present help in time of trouble, right? We just have to remind ourselves over and over that he's already done the work. Our work is to believe him and trust him. But we have this covenant in a cracked clay pot, right? Because here's what I was thinking about a while ago. In 2 Corinthians 4, it says this. He says, this is the God who commanded light to shine out of darkness. We talk about that a lot. Let there be light. Before God said, let there be light, and the light began to shine, God had already settled some things in eternity. He had already settled that he already knew we were going to sin, that it was going to be broken before it didn't even get very far. Genesis 3, we're done, right? But he knew that. So he made a way for us to get back to him before he said, let there be light. Before he said, let there be light, he knew Jesus was going to come to redeem us. Before he said let there be light, he knew he was going to come for us. He made sure there was a way for us to get back to him and him to get to us. He could have said, well, I know they're going to break it, but let's enjoy this first few years, right? And then we'll just forget it and start all over. He knew it was going to become broken, and yet he made an everlasting covenant that couldn't be broken. So this God who commanded light to shine out of darkness also shone in our hearts. He shined light in our hearts so that we could see and have the knowledge of God and be face to face with Christ in our hearts. However, here's the catch. But there's a big but right there, right? But three little letters, a little bitty conjunction, but it turns the whole thing around. The same God. We have this treasure in earthen vessels. We have this treasure that God gives us in this clay pot. And this clay pot is cracked sometimes, right? We have this treasure in earthen vessels, in this flesh and blood. And why? So that the power is obviously and evidently from God, not us. We live in this frail clay pot. We live in this frail flesh and blood that where it's always a struggle to trust God. It's always a struggle to get back to his peace. It's always this battle for me in my mind to come back to, oh yeah, let's trust God. Bring it back. Reel it in. God gave us peace. Reel it in. God has given us grace sufficient for today. I can face today because God already faced it for me, and God will face it in me, with me, in me. He's not just a casual observer standing over in the corner of our lives going, let's see what happens. No, he's already planned for us to win this day. He's already planned for us to have his peace today. What is today? Tuesday, December 5th, 2023. He already planned for us to have salvation today, peace today, grace for today, mercy in the time to find. We come before the throne of grace to find mercy. We come before the throne of mercy to find grace to help. When? In the time of need. Just when we need it. We can find that grace to help in the time of need, not in the time of no need, which I don't know. I need God every day. I need his peace every day. I have not yet arrived to the place where I can push that button and just go, I'm in la la land now, and I've got God's peace, and I've got his grace, and I've got his mercy. Although I do have those things, although I do remind myself every single day that those are alive and well in me because God is living alive and well in me. That's another thing he was saying in Hebrews was that I will be in them. I will be with them. I don't want it to just be a covenant on tablets of stone. I want it to be a covenant through the blood of Christ and the tablets of their heart. I'm going to write my laws and my I'm going to love them and walk with them and be in them. And that was one of the things that changed from the Old Testament to the New Testament, or the Old Covenant to the New Covenant, is now it's not just a bunch of rigid laws. This is how you got to please me. It's like, hey, let me just live inside of you. This will be a lot easier, God says. And it's all day long of just acknowledging that he is with me no matter what I face. That does not mean that everything's going to be hunky-dory. That does not mean that everything's going to just go run smoothly, that all of my clients are going to be happy, and that Chris is going to make the progress I want to see him make every day. It doesn't mean it's going to be a pretty picture yet. The pretty picture is in this clay pot. The pretty picture is that he already gave us, equipped us with the grace we need to make it today. The pretty picture is that he already gave us new mercies this morning for our benefit, not his. He ain't got no mornings. So mercies are new every morning is just for us. God put effort into the peace he gave you today. He put effort behind the mercies that we can walk in today. He put effort behind the grace that's going to carry us and help us in our time of need today. He planned it that way. Our work in this clay pot is to just trust him for one more day. Our work is to keep coming back to that truth and saying, you know what? I'm going to let his peace reign. I'm going to remind myself, if nothing else, my sins are forgiven. And I was reading in Hebrews how that's a forever thing. We talked about in First John not long ago that he paid the price for all the sins that would ever be committed, had ever been committed. There's no sins reigning anymore. Jesus has already paid for them all. Otherwise, as Hebrews says, he would have to go back to the cross every single day and die for our sins over and over. But he took care of it once, but he took care of everything. That grace we need for today, the mercy we need for the day, the forgiveness we need for today. Why? Because he knew that he was going to dwell in this cracked clay pot. And we were going to need more help along the road as we trust him. But here's the key. Just keep coming back to trusting him. Just like we see through the Psalms. Make that your declaration today. Today, I will trust you. No matter what I see, no matter what I feel, no matter what gets put on my plate, taken off my plate, no matter what change in my stories, No matter what changes in my story, I will trust God for today. That's my declaration. I hope you make it yours with me. Let's all trust Him together and remember that He has already given us His peace. All we got to do is let it reign and rule in our hearts. Peace out. Have a great day. I'll see you again tomorrow.